Hey everyone, life is unpredictable and challenges often come when we least expect them. In moments of uncertainty, it's easy to let emotions take over, to react without thinking, to worry without reason. But what if I told you that no matter what situation you face, you have the power to remain calm? Today we're going to talk about how you can train your mind to be steady in every situation, no matter how chaotic it may seem. Because true strength isn't about controlling what happens around you. It's about mastering how you respond within. Chaos is inevitable. The world is unpredictable, a swirling storm of circumstances beyond our control. Every day we're faced with uncertainty. Plans fall apart, people change, problems arise without warning. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, caught in the turbulence of everything life throws our way. But here's the thing. You don't have to be swept away. You don't have to mirror the chaos around you. While the world may be unpredictable, you can choose not to be. Think about it. Every reaction, every burst of frustration, every moment of panic, it all comes from the belief that we need to fix, fight, or flee from whatever challenges us. But what if you didn't? What if you stood still instead? Not in defeat, but in defiance. Not frozen, but deliberate. The power to remain calm, to breathe through the storm, is a choice. It's not weakness, it's strength. A strength most people never cultivate. When chaos hits, most people react without thinking. They raise their voices, lash out, or crumble under the weight of stress. That reaction might feel instinctive, like the only option. But it's not. The truth is, the mind can be trained to respond differently. Calmness is not a luxury reserved for the serene or the unaffected. It's a skill, one that can be sharpened, refined, and wielded with intention. It starts with awareness. When you recognize the chaos, not just outside of you, but within, you've already taken the first step. The heart races, the breath quickens, and thoughts scatter like leaves in the wind. That's your signal. Instead of reacting, pause, feel it, observe it. It's uncomfortable, sure, but it won't break you. That pause is your power. It's the space where clarity lives. The longer you stay there, the clearer things become. You'll see how little control you really have over the world around you, other people's actions, unexpected events, moments of misfortune. They're all beyond your grasp. But your mind, that's yours. Completely. The chaos may roar, but inside you can be still. And that stillness? It changes everything. Decisions are sharper when they're not clouded by emotion. Words are measured when they're not fueled by anger or fear. Even your presence shifts. People can feel it when someone refuses to be shaken. Calm is contagious, and it commands respect. But like any skill, calmness requires practice. It won't happen overnight. There will be moments when the pressure's unbearable, when your instinct screams at you to react. That's the test. Each time you resist that urge, you grow stronger. You train your mind bit by bit to hold its ground. Meditation, deep breathing, or even something as simple as stepping back before responding. These are tools like weights for the mind. And just like muscles grow from resistance, your mental strength grows from those moments of restraint. And here's the beauty of it. When you no longer fear chaos, it loses its hold on you. You become unshakable. While others spiral, you remain steady. While others waste energy on battles that don't matter, you conserve yours for what does. Calmness doesn't mean you ignore the storm. It means you see it clearly. You navigate through it with precision, knowing exactly where your energy belongs. In time, you'll notice that the world around you may still be chaotic, but it no longer controls you. You'll face setbacks without losing your composure. You'll endure criticism without letting it rattle your confidence. You'll handle conflict with the kind of grace that leaves others wondering how you do it. And the answer? You've simply chosen not to be the chaos. So let the world be unpredictable. Let it twist and turn, rise and fall. While it does, you stand still. Not because it's easy, but because it's powerful. Because no matter what comes your way, you know the storm is temporary, but your calm, that's forever. Calm is a skill. It's not something you're born with, nor is it reserved for a select few who seem naturally unshaken by life's difficulties. The truth is, calmness is built, like a muscle that grows stronger with each deliberate act of patience and awareness. It's the result of consistent effort, not a mere personality trait. The ability to remain composed under pressure is a reflection of how well you've trained your mind. Just like learning to play an instrument or mastering a craft, staying calm requires practice, resilience, and a willingness to step into discomfort. In moments of stress, the mind's instinct is often to react. Fear, anger, frustration. These emotions rise swiftly urging you to act before you think. It's a survival mechanism, a response rooted in self-preservation. But in a world where most threats are no longer physical, reacting without awareness can do more harm than good. Calmness, on the other hand, demands that you pause. It asks you to observe your emotions without being consumed by them. And this practice begins long before the storm arrives. Developing calmness starts with awareness. You can't control what you aren't conscious of. When frustration creeps in or fear tightens its grip, awareness allows you to notice it. Instead of immediately lashing out or shutting down, you acknowledge what's happening within. You might feel your heart racing, your breathing becoming shallow, or your thoughts spinning in every direction. But the moment you notice these signals, you create space. A brief, powerful pause. That space is where calmness has a chance to grow. But noticing your emotions is only the beginning. The next step is choosing how to respond. Many people believe they have no choice in how they feel. The anger or anxiety are automatic and uncontrollable. Yet the mind is far more flexible than we give it credit for. When you practice calmness, you train yourself to question the narratives that fuel your reactions. Instead of believing the immediate thought that something is catastrophic or unbearable, you learn to step back and assess the situation with clarity. Is the threat real, or is your mind magnifying it? Is the frustration justified, or is it simply a conditioned response? This constant questioning, this gentle interrogation of your thoughts, is the foundation of true calm. It's also worth understanding that building calmness doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. Many confuse calm with indifference, thinking it requires you to bury your feelings or pretend nothing affects you. But real calmness is not denial. It's the ability to hold space for your emotions without letting them dictate your actions. You might still feel anger, disappointment, or fear, but instead of reacting impulsively, you allow those emotions to pass through you. They are like waves, powerful but temporary. The practice of remaining calm is the practice of standing steady as those waves crash and recede. Of course, the path to calmness isn't linear. There will be moments when you stumble, when the pull of reaction feels too strong. That's part of the process. Every time you catch yourself reacting and choose to return to stillness, you reinforce the skill. It's in those moments of struggle that growth happens. Over time, the situations that once triggered an immediate reaction lose their grip. You become quicker to pause, quicker to breathe, quicker to choose calm over chaos. Practicing calmness also extends beyond moments of crisis. It's cultivated in the small, everyday challenges, the delayed commute, the unexpected criticism, the minor inconvenience. Each of these moments is an opportunity to train. Every time you resist the urge to react unnecessarily, you strengthen your capacity for calm. Think of it as mental conditioning. Just as an athlete trains their body through repetition and resilience, you train your mind by consciously practicing patience and presence. And the benefits reach far beyond yourself. Calmness radiates. When you remain composed, you influence the energy around you. Others take notice. In conflicts, a calm presence diffuses tension. In leadership, it inspires trust and confidence. Even in your personal relationships, calmness fosters deeper understanding and connection. People feel safer, more grounded, and more open when they're met with composure instead of volatility. But none of this happens without commitment. Developing calmness requires you to show up again and again, even when it's uncomfortable. It's choosing not to be swept away by every emotional current. It's reminding yourself in the heat of the moment that reacting will not serve you, and as you continue to practice, calmness becomes less of a conscious effort and more of a natural response. What once felt impossible, maintaining your composure in the face of chaos, becomes second nature. The mind is like a vast, untamed landscape. Without care and intention, it becomes overrun with weeds, thoughts of worry, resentment, and fear. But when you tend to it, when you deliberately plant seeds of patience and awareness, it flourishes. Calmness is the fruit of that labor, and the more you nurture it, the more resilient and unwavering you become. Reactions control most people. It's an automatic response, a reflex born out of instinct and habit. When something unexpected happens, emotions surge: anger, fear, frustration, even excitement. They rise without warning, demanding immediate action. For most people, this surge is irresistible. They react without thinking, letting their emotions drive the moment. But it doesn't have to be that way. You have a choice. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can respond with clarity. It's a choice that requires awareness, discipline, and the willingness to pause before letting emotions take over. When people react without thinking, it's often because they're ruled by their emotions. They mistake the temporary intensity of a feeling for a call to action. Anger says, shout back. Fear says, run away. Embarrassment says, deflect and defend. These reactions are fast and unfiltered. They feel justified in the moment, but they often lead to regret. Words spoken in anger, decisions made in panic, or actions taken without consideration tend to create more problems than they solve. The irony is that reacting rarely brings relief. Instead, it deepens the turmoil, leaving people at the mercy of their own emotions. Choosing to respond instead of reacting means taking back control. It starts with awareness. The moment you feel a strong emotion rising, you have a small but powerful opportunity. That space, that pause, is where clarity lives. Instead of being swept away by your feelings, you can step back and observe them. You might feel your heart pounding, your mind racing, your jaw tightening, but noticing these sensations creates distance. It reminds you that emotions are temporary visitors, not permanent residents. They will pass just like a wave that crashes and recedes. Responding with clarity means asking yourself questions before you act. What exactly am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? What outcome do I truly want? These questions interrupt the automatic reaction and engage the rational part of your mind. Suddenly you're not just reacting to the situation, you're analyzing it. This simple shift turns a moment of emotional intensity into an opportunity for thoughtful action. It allows you to see beyond the immediate discomfort and make choices that align with your values and goals. It's also important to recognize that responding doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. Many people fear that choosing clarity means denying how they feel, pushing emotions aside as if they don't matter. But responding isn't about avoidance, it's about acknowledgement. You can feel anger without letting it control you. You can experience fear without allowing it to dictate your choices. By recognizing your emotions, you validate them, but you don't give them the steering wheel. That's the difference between reacting impulsively and responding wisely. Practicing this takes time. At first, the pull to react will feel overwhelming. The mind, conditioned by years of habitual responses, will resist the pause, but with each moment of intentional choice, the pattern shifts. You'll notice yourself becoming more aware of your triggers. The things that once ignited uncontrollable reactions will lose their power. What once seemed unbearable will become manageable. Over time, responding with clarity becomes second nature. The benefits ripple outward. In conversations, your words become measured and intentional. You listen more attentively, respond thoughtfully, and avoid unnecessary conflict. In stressful situations, you remain composed, finding solutions instead of escalating the problem. Even in moments of personal doubt or disappointment, you approach yourself with understanding rather than self-criticism. This level of control doesn't mean you never feel emotions. It means your emotions no longer control you. And as you strengthen this ability, others will notice. Calmness commands respect. People gravitate toward those who remain steady in the face of adversity. In both personal and professional settings, the ability to respond with clarity sets you apart. It builds trust, enhances decision-making, and fosters stronger relationships. While others waste energy reacting to things beyond their control, you conserve yours for what truly matters. Every day presents opportunities to practice. The delayed flight, the critical comment, the unexpected setback. Each of these moments invites you to choose. Will you react or will you respond? The choice is yours. And with each deliberate response, you reinforce your power. You show yourself in the world that you are not a prisoner of your emotions. You are the one in control. Power comes from stillness. It's not the loudest voice, the most forceful presence, or the one who reacts the fastest that holds the most control. It's the one who remains calm. The calmest person in the room is often the one with the clearest mind, the sharpest perception, and the greatest influence. While chaos and tension push others to act impulsively, the calm individual moves with intention. They observe before they speak, think before they decide, and act without being driven by emotion. That stillness, that ability to remain composed, is a form of strength that few possess but many admire. In any situation, people tend to mirror the energy around them. When stress levels rise, so does the tendency to respond in kind. Arguments escalate, tempers flare, and rash decisions are made. But when someone remains calm amidst the storm, it creates a ripple effect. Their presence alone can diffuse tension. Others instinctively look to them for guidance because calmness conveys confidence. It signals that even in the face of uncertainty, this person is not shaken. That's the kind of power that doesn't need to be announced. It's simply felt. Stillness also sharpens your perception. When emotions run high, judgment is often clouded. People make decisions based on fear, anger, or frustration rather than logic and understanding. But in a state of calm, the mind becomes clear. You see situations for what they are, not just how they feel. Problems that once seemed overwhelming begin to break down into manageable pieces. Solutions that were invisible in the heat of the moment suddenly become apparent. This clarity allows the calm person to navigate challenges with precision, making decisions that are not only quick but wise. Moreover, calmness gives you control over yourself. While others may be reactive, their emotions pulling them in every direction, you remain steady. You choose your responses rather than surrendering to impulsive reactions. This self-mastery is one of the greatest forms of control. It means that no matter what happens externally, you dictate your internal state. It's not that the calm person doesn't feel anger or fear. They simply don't allow those emotions to drive their actions. They recognize them, acknowledge them, and decide how to proceed without being ruled by them. This stillness is especially evident in leadership. Whether in business, relationships, or moments of crisis, the one who remains calm becomes the natural leader. People are drawn to stability. They trust the individual who doesn't crumble under pressure, who listens without interrupting, and who responds thoughtfully rather than reactively. A calm leader inspires confidence not because they have all the answers, but because they project assurance. Their stillness provides others with a sense of security, making it easier for the group to find collective solutions. But achieving this level of calmness requires practice. Stillness is not simply the absence of movement, it's the deliberate choice to remain steady when everything else is shifting. It's the discipline to pause, breathe, and reflect before responding. This practice can be built through mindfulness, self-awareness, and a commitment to understanding your own emotional triggers. Every time you resist the urge to react, you strengthen your ability to remain calm in more difficult situations. And the impact of this practice is lasting. A calm mind is not only more effective in moments of conflict, but also more resilient in the long term. Stress no longer consumes you as it once did. Setbacks are met with perspective rather than panic. Even when life delivers the unexpected, the calm person adapts, knowing that control doesn't come from dominating external circumstances, but from maintaining inner stability. While others may scramble to assert dominance through volume or aggression, the calm person commands respect without demanding it. Their presence speaks louder than words. They influence conversations without overpowering them. And in moments where chaos seeks to pull everyone under, they stand grounded. Unwavering. That's the essence of true power. It's not found in force or intimidation. It's found in stillness. Decisions are better without panic. In moments of uncertainty or stress, the instinct to act quickly can be overwhelming. The mind races, fear takes over, and emotions cloud judgment. Panic convinces you that immediate action is necessary, that waiting or thinking through the situation will only make things worse. But the truth is, rushed decisions made in a state of fear rarely lead to the best outcome. Calmness, on the other hand, sharpens judgment. When you choose stillness over urgency, you give yourself the clarity to see things as they are, not just as they feel in the moment. Emotions are powerful. They serve a purpose, offering insight into how situations affect you. Fear can alert you to danger. Frustration can signal unmet expectations. And excitement can push you toward opportunities. But when emotions take control, they distort your perspective. Panic narrows your focus, exaggerates threats, and makes challenges seem larger than they are. It tricks you into believing that the worst-case scenario is inevitable. In that state, your decisions are no longer rooted in logic. They're driven by a desperate need to escape discomfort. The problem is that impulsive choices made under panic often create even greater problems. Calmness, however, brings distance. It allows you to separate yourself from the surge of emotion and observe it objectively. Instead of reacting to the fear or frustration, you acknowledge it without letting it dictate your actions. This emotional awareness creates space, a pause where rational thinking can step in. You begin to ask questions rather than assume the worst. What exactly is happening? What are my options? What's within my control? These questions break the grip of panic and restore clarity. From this place of composure, your decisions become intentional rather than reactive. It's also important to recognize that calmness doesn't mean the absence of emotion. It means you remain in control of your response despite the emotions you feel. Even in high-stakes situations, when the pressure is intense and the uncertainty looms large, maintaining a sense of calm empowers you. It gives you the ability to weigh options objectively, anticipate consequences, and make choices aligned with your goals rather than your fears. Decisions made in this state are not only more logical, but also more confident. When you trust your own ability to stay composed, that confidence reflects in your choices and actions. In contrast, panic often leads to regret. Reacting without thought might provide temporary relief, a false sense of control in the moment, but once the dust settles, the consequences become clear. You may realize you acted without considering the full picture, overlooked better alternatives, or worsened the situation by making rash decisions. Calmness protects you from this cycle. By refusing to let fear dictate your choices, you minimize the likelihood of regret and maximize the chances of a favorable outcome. This practice of choosing calm over panic doesn't happen automatically. It requires intention and patience. In moments of stress, the first step is to pause, take a breath, acknowledge the fear or frustration, but don't react to it. Recognize that while the emotion is real, it doesn't define the reality of the situation. Then shift your focus to what you can control. Often simply identifying your next step, no matter how small, can ground you and restore a sense of clarity. Over time, this ability to remain calm strengthens. Each time you choose stillness over reaction, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of navigating challenges without being consumed by them. What once triggered panic will lose its power. Stressful moments will feel less overwhelming because you'll trust yourself to respond thoughtfully. Your decisions will become more deliberate, and your confidence will grow. In both personal and professional settings, this composure sets you apart. Others may scramble under pressure driven by their emotions, but your steadiness will inspire confidence. People will naturally look to you for guidance, knowing that your choices are measured and intentional. And when challenges arise, as they inevitably will, you'll face them not with panic, but with the calm assurance that clarity brings. That's the power of choosing calmness. It doesn't just sharpen your decisions, it transforms the way you navigate every aspect of life. Master your mind, master your life. True strength isn't about overpowering others or controlling external circumstances. It's about the ability to remain steady no matter what challenges come your way. The world is unpredictable, and life rarely moves according to plan. People will disappoint you. Obstacles will arise, and uncertainty will test your patience. But when your mind is your own, when you stand firm in the face of chaos, nothing can shake you. That steadiness is the mark of real strength, a strength that comes from within. Mastering your mind means understanding that you are not your thoughts. Thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky. Some are helpful, guiding you towards solutions and clarity. Others are destructive, stirring fear, doubt, and anger. But the thoughts themselves hold no power until you attach to them. When you believe every negative thought that arises, your emotions follow and your actions respond in kind. You become reactive, driven not by reason but by impulse. Mastery is the ability to step back and observe those thoughts without letting them define you. It's recognizing that while your mind may generate worry or fear, you decide what to do with it. This kind of mental strength doesn't mean ignoring your emotions. On the contrary, it means facing them fully. Fear, frustration, sadness, these feelings are part of the human experience. But mastering your mind means you don't become consumed by them. Instead of resisting discomfort, you allow yourself to feel it without losing control. You remain steady. The storms may rage within you, but like a deeply rooted tree, you stand tall. This is the strength that separates those who crumble under pressure from those who thrive. To achieve this level of mastery, you must first cultivate awareness. So much of what drives human behavior happens without conscious thought. People react before they even realize what they're reacting to. But the moment you become aware of your triggers, your thought patterns, and your emotional responses, you regain your power. You create space between the stimulus and your reaction. In that space lies your greatest freedom, the freedom to choose. Will you lash out, retreat in fear, or respond with clarity? The choice is yours. And with each conscious decision, your mind grows stronger. Mastering your mind also means learning to quiet the inner noise. The constant chatter of self-doubt, comparison, and fear can be deafening, but beneath that noise is stillness, a steady, unwavering presence that exists within you at all times. You tap into it when you breathe deeply, when you pause instead of reacting, when you sit with your thoughts instead of running from them. The more you practice this stillness, the more resilient your mind becomes. It's not that the noise disappears entirely, but it loses its grip. You no longer mistake it for truth. You hear it, acknowledge it, and let it pass. Life will continue to test you. People may challenge your patience. Circumstances may push you to the edge of your comfort zone. The unexpected will happen, and the temptation to react will be strong. But when you've mastered your mind, you don't break. You respond with intention. You hold your ground, not out of stubbornness, but from a deep understanding that your inner stability is your greatest strength. Others may search for control in their surroundings, but you find it within yourself. And the impact of this mastery is undeniable. In relationships, you become a source of calm and reassurance. In times of crisis, you bring clarity instead of chaos. In your personal pursuits, setbacks no longer derail you. They simply become opportunities to learn. People will notice your steadiness. They will wonder how you remain composed when everything around you is uncertain. But it won't be a mystery to you. You'll know that the strength they see is the result of your inner discipline. You chose not to be ruled by fear. You chose not to react without thought. You chose to master your mind. This mastery isn't a one-time achievement. It's a continuous practice, a daily commitment to self-awareness and intentionality. Some days will be harder than others. There will be moments when old patterns resurface, when the mind pulls you toward reaction. But even then, you are never powerless. Every moment is an opportunity to return to stillness, to reclaim your strength, and to choose how you respond. With time, these moments of mastery become more frequent. What once shook you now barely moves you. The challenges remain, but your perspective changes. You face life not with fear, but with confidence. Master your mind and you master your life. Not because the world bends to your will, but because you are no longer at the mercy of it. You stand steady, knowing that true strength isn't found in controlling what's outside of you. It's found in mastering what's within. Training your mind to be calm isn't something that happens overnight. It's a practice, a commitment to staying aware, choosing your responses, and finding stillness even when the world feels loud. But with each moment of intentional calmness, you'll notice a shift. Life will no longer feel like something that happens to you. It will become something you navigate with clarity and confidence. So remember this: every situation is an opportunity to practice. The more you do, the stronger you become. And when you master your mind, you truly master your life. Thank you.